Yeah, hello, football fans and fanatics across Nigeria, across the world. Thank you for joining us today on We Talk Football. Here we talk football, from a fan's perspective, a Nigerian fan's perspective. So today I'm going to dwell on Manchester United for a bit today because in the last, Man U has gone on a wonderful run ever since January last year, and then suddenly, the tide has seemed to change a bit in recent weeks, following a capitulation at home to Sheffield, the bottom team in the league, and then in the last game they also drew. Well, they felt like a loss. They drew 2-2 and 3-3 to Everton from a position of winning that game from 2-0 in the first half to 3-3 where they lost in the very last kick of the game. So I'd like to highlight a few of the problems I feel Manchester United are facing currently. Primarily, I think the first problem is the issue of players. Now, it is glaring. It is also glaring for everyone to see that Manchester United does not have a defense line capable of winning the league. Man United cannot win the league with Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof as the centre back pairing for the club. It's not just going to happen because, for one, the two players are really, really slow. Lindelof might be slightly faster, but Harry has over time proven that his weakness is in his slow pace. He's good, he's very adventurous going forward and all that, but defensively, Harry Maguire has been suspect. Victor Lindelof has been suspect. Both of them cumulatively playing against tough, strong strikers seem to falter when they're faced with tough, strong, big strikers, opposing strikers. So that's a major concern that has to be addressed. Also, a lot of Manchester United players are being played out of position. That's something I don't see a lot of people talk about, but it is glaring that Manchester United have a lot of their players, especially in the front line, playing out of position. You have Mason Greenwood, a natural finisher, playing on the right. Marcus Rashford has done well on the left, has done well in the center. Martial has done well in the center. Looks more to be a left-sided player. But you see, none of these guys, if they were to move from Manchester United to another team, none of these players can actually be seen to say, okay, this is a defined role that like Martial is. Is Martial a number 9? Is he a number 11? Is Marcus Rashford a number 9? Is he a number 11? Okay, so you see Mason Greenwood playing on the right. Is he a number 9? I think Greenwood is a number 9, a clear-cut number 9. But what is he doing on the right side? So we have so many players playing out of position, it becomes a problem. Again, in the midfield, Bruno Fernandes is a creative number 10. He can play in that role. Wonderful. That is fine. There was a debate with Pogba, where is his best position in the midfield. He seems to have settled in that center, that double pairing in the middle of the park. But so what happens? So where is the creative, the defensive midfielder? Scott McTominay is not clearly a defensive midfielder per se. Fred is doing a little better in that role, but can he be defined as a clear-cut defensive midfielder? I don't think so. So there's a lapse there, because the personnel are not playing in their best positions in some of the positions, and some of the personnel too are simply not good enough. That's another issue with the players. Some of the players are simply not good enough. Some Man United players are not good enough. It's sad to say, but it's the truth. Why do I say so? Bruno Fernandes came into Manchester United and the difference was clear. He didn't need to play in that team for 10 years. He didn't need to play in that team for 3 years. He made an instant impact. That says a lot about the quality that he has. Paul Pogba is a quality player, is arguably a world-class player, but he has not been able to keep up a string of consistent world-class performances. So that questions his position. But when you look across that team, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is an upcoming right winger. Luke Shaw has had a good run of form. The is he a great left back? No, he's not. Victor Lindelof, same thing. You can't really say he's a great guy. All right. Harry Maguire, same thing. Fred, McTominay. Um, as far as I'm concerned, Marcus Rashford is still an up and coming striker. Same with Anthony Martial. Greenwood is a youngster still coming up. Now, we have seen the quality. When you talk about quality, you see it in Edison Cavani. He's new in the team, but Edison Cavani is a vintage striker. He is a great striker. He's got loads of experience. He's got loads of quality, and it shows in that Manchester United team. Same thing goes for Bruno Fernandes. But for the rest of the players around them, you can't exactly say the same. So that is where I felt the quality is simply not good enough. And with that quality comes the character. Another measure, another way I used to evaluate the quality of Manchester United players is if you had this play, if you picked out the Manchester United players today, which of these players would walk into the great Manchester United side of, say, 98-99 season, the triple winning side? There is almost none of these players would make it in that team. Wan-Bissaka will not displace Gary Neville. Luke Shaw will not displace even Dennis Irwin. You know, Victor Lindelof cannot stand shoulder to shoulder with Ronnie Johnson, not to mention Jaap Stam. There was Roy Keane, there was Paul Scholes, which in the current midfield would battle Roy Keane for a role in the starting 11. It's not possible. Dwight York, Andy Cole, not really. Rashford, perspective. Greenwood, perspective, but you can never measure them. So, and that was a treble winning side. As long as Manchester United does not have that caliber of players, they just can't. It's not the same thing. You can't expect the team to do as well. The team capitulated against Everton in the last game. That goes to show the quality that is not in that team. That goes to show the character that that team lacks. So that is just on one end, on the players. On the part of the coaching crew, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still, as far as I'm concerned, a greenhorn in the coaching business. He has done well. He has done well. I give it to him. He's tried to take Man U from where it was to where it is today. I commend him for what he's done. But we cannot explicitly say that Ole is that great coach. He's not. He's simply not. So that shows in his tactical naivety, in his choice of players, and all that, and in-game management. A lot of those things, it just shows. For instance, you have Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, who are not confident on the ball. Why are you trying to play out from the back? That has been a major challenge because the team keeps getting caught out with trying to play the ball out from the back with defenders who are not confident enough to play the ball out from the back. Okay, and then Ole also has an issue with managing players. For me, lack of experience. He has not been able to manage the players. In the last few years, we have seen how players have ganged up to get their coaches sacked. It happened in Chelsea, it happened in Man United to Mourinho. So I suppose Ole is scared of that scenario repeating itself. So you're over pampering the players. Martial is not doing well. Put him on the bench. Get him to play. So do not pamper players unnecessarily. There are ways to go about it, but you don't have to look like you're outrightly favoring some players. Victor Lindelof, there's the debate about Eric Bailly versus Victor Lindelof. It's clear. Victor Lindelof is an okay defender, but there's strengths that Eric Bailly has over him. Okay, so but you make Harry Maguire a constant fixture of your defense, and then Victor Lindelof is your next choice, and Bailly now stays, remains on the bench. But have you ever thought about combine? How about having Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly? There's always that option. So no matter what a player does, as long as he knows the coach, always going to play. Victor Lindelof knows I'm always going to play as long as I'm fit. Harry Maguire knows I'm always going to play as long as I'm fit. Right? They will always do. There's only so much they will do. Alex Tellers was brought in a couple months ago, and look at the effect he has had on Luke Shaw. It's not rocket science. As long as you're pampering players, excuse me, as long as you're pampering players and being unnecessarily soft on players, it will show in the performances on the pitch. So Ole needs to, improve his own game, in-game management, player management, and tactical approach to games. That needs to be worked on if Man United is supposed to, go from where they are now to the next level. I spoke about tactics a bit. Playing out from the back is a major problem. You can't do that with the players, with the manpower you have currently. The defense has been horrible. Poor at defending set pieces, out of pace, slow, lethargic sometimes outright confused. Sometimes the defense just looks outright confused, like there is no leader at the back. Harry Maguire is not that leader. He cannot call his players. And then even David De Gea has not been able to impose himself after what, almost 10 years at the club. He's still not been able to impose himself as a leader at the back. Harry Maguire was supposed to fill in that role. He has done that to an extent, but he's not that leader who can organize things at the back. There is a glaring lack of a leader at the back, and that's why the team concedes cheap goals from set pieces and so on and so on. So those are some of the other issues. And then, very importantly, too, Ed Woodward and the board, the Glazers, the board, Ed Woodward, everybody has had their own share of the blame. They've made a few good decisions here and there. Edison Cavani was not Ole's first choice. Donny van de Beek was not. But they're not bad players, all right? It's something they always add to the team. But overall, you're reinforcing the team for me where it's not necessary. Manchester United for years have been crying out for a natural defensive midfielder. They still don't have one. For many years now, for many months now, the team has been crying out for a leader at the back, for a world-class defender. That gap, that hole still remains. As long as you don't have those players in, as long as the board does not bring those players in, that team is still going to struggle. It's still going to continue to struggle. So for me, those are a few of the major issues that this team is facing right now. And if they could be addressed, unfortunately, they have to manage with what they have currently till the end of the season. City has taken the lead. City is now what, um, going to 8 points clear, and that's going to be time. They're just getting into form at the right time, so it's going to be very challenging to depose or to dethrone Man City the way it's going right now, because you can't trust this team to give you 100% at home. Our away record has been impressive. We hope it continues, but the team needs to buckle up and win games at home. It is becoming challenging. City is running away with the league because Liverpool has faltered. So if this team does not sit up, that shot at winning the league, um, it's still going to remain a mirage for at least another year. So for now, I think those are the basic issues facing that Manchester United side, which need to be dealt with, which need to be worked on or corrected for that team to do better. You can do well to join us. We're just new here, so please subscribe and like the video. And then we're going to turn in a lot more videos for you in the coming days and coming weeks. So thank you, and we hope to see you again soon.